students, welcome to today's class. Today we will continue with chapter 3, matter only. But before starting the chapter, few confusions are there. That first let us solve that. Okay, so let's see. Centrifugation. This was asked by some of you. What is centrifugation? Though it is not there in the curriculum for class 6, it's not there in the syllabus, but let us know what is that. Centrifugation, this is a process to separate uh, solid liquid mixture. Okay, so this at our home we use churner like this. You must have seen this. So when we will be rolling this in this manner, we will be through our hand only we will be rolling this. Then uh, through this we can separate the solid liquid mixture, and this in through this churner and all. The working principle of churner is just like centrifugation. Here we will be separating from milk. We can separate the cream from milk with churner, and this process is called centrifugation. This we can see in washing machines also. Through this process, through centrifugation, we can separate the particles of blood particles, and we can there are two parts of blood. One is a watery part, and another is particles. So we can separate through this centrifugation process, we can separate the particles from the water part. Okay, so in labs, the centrifugation machine which we will see, there will be in this manner the samples are placed. Actually this is a in this part, it's like looks like this. These are the small test tubes where we will be keeping the sample, and in a high speed, these are the samples, blood samples we can put here, and in a very high speed we will be rolling this. We will be spinning this, and then because of this force and all, the particles will get separated from the watery part. So this is the centrifugation all about. Another question was asked, why seawater is a heterogeneous it's a heterogeneous solution, we will say. Okay, so seawater, it's not just the salt water. If we take salt water, just like sugar and water mixture or salt water mixture, this is a homogeneous solution. All the properties of homogeneous solution we can see in salt water. As the salt water, this is throughout its volume, its concentration is same, uniform concentration is there, and we cannot see the particles separately. So salt water or sugar water, this is a homogeneous solution. But what about seawater? As in seawater, many salts are there. Along with salt, there are some mud particles, decayed plants and animal bodies are there mixed with seawater. So it's not just the salt water. That's why seawater is its volume, throughout its volume, the composition is not uniform. We can see the floating we can see the floating particles of dead bodies or decayed plants and animals separately in seawater, or the mud particles or the sand particles, these are also there. So because of this presence of this substances along with salt, different salts are there in seawater. So because of the presence of the decayed plant and animal bodies and mud and sand particles, the composition of seawater is not uniform throughout its volume. We can see the particles separately. That's why seawater will be it's not a homogeneous solution, it's a heterogeneous solution. Okay, if only we will say salt water, then it must be homogeneous, but if we call it seawater, then it must be heterogeneous because of the presence of those particles. Okay, hope now it's clear. Now the same question, why mist is a heterogeneous solution? Mist is the it's a mixture of liquid in air, okay, or liquid in gaseous substances. So this is water droplets, water in air. This is the mixture of water or suspension of water in air. Mist we will see in just during the winter season, or in when the temperature of the atmosphere is very low, then we can see the mist all over in the air. That means the water, because of the temperature, because of the low temperature, water particles that will remain suspended in air. So this is the mist all about. And as the water particles, this can be seen separately in air, in mist we will say. And as the composition of the water particles, or composition of the particles suspended in air, that is not uniform throughout its volume and all, so mist also will be a heterogeneous solution. Okay, as all the properties of heterogeneous substances, heterogeneous solution is there present in mist. Its composition is not same throughout its volume, and we can see the particles separately. So it will be a heterogeneous heterogeneous solution. Now let us discuss what is diffusion. This is of chapter 3 matter. Okay. Now diffusion, this is the phenomenon which we will find generally in gases, or in liquids also we can find this. Diffusion is nothing but the phenomenon of intermixing of two different kind of particles to attain the uniform composition. This is the intermixing of particles to two different kind of substances will get intermixed to attain a uniform composition. Okay, so let us take an example, then it will be more clear to you all. Here we have taken two gas jar. One is empty jar. Actually this is not empty. Anything which is empty, we can say that air is there. So let us draw the air particles in this manner. With the green dots we are representing the air particles, but it cannot be seen, as air cannot be seen separately in this manner. But let us assume the particles of air is lying in this manner. Okay, so these are the air particles. As it is invisible, so we will see the gas jar as empty. It is empty, apparently it is empty, but it's not empty actually. Air particles are there. Now the second gas jar which we have taken, that is filled with a colored gas, that is bromine gas. Bromine gas is having a reddish brown color. So if we take bromine gas in this gas jar, it will be seen like a reddish color. The color of this gas jar filled with bromine gas looks like reddish because of the color of the gas. Okay, now these two gas jars are there with us. Now we will place this empty gas jar on the gas jar filled with bromine gas. So just let us do that. Now we will be drawing this empty jar. Now we have placed the empty jar above the gas jar along with bromine gas. Okay, so this gas jar which is at bottom, this is filled up with bromine. You can see the red molecules of bromine gas, and this is with air. Okay. Now after some time we will see the particles of, after some time we can the particles of air and particles of bromine, molecules of bromine, they will intermix because of the diffusion. As these both are gas particles, so the diffusion will be highest. So at a high rate the diffusion, we can see the diffusion in a high rate, in a high speed, and after some time we will see the whole gas jar will uh, get the color of the bromine gas. That means the reddish brown color of the bromine gas will spread in all over in this two gas jars. So that will look like, so after the diffusion process gets over, we can see the gas jar in this manner, where in all the color of the bromine gas will be spread in these two gas jars. And as we have taken two gas jar here, so the color will be little bit fade than the color of the first gas jar, which was filled with only bromine gas. So here we will be seeing just little bit fade of the color of the gas jar, but all over in this two gas jars the bromine gas will spread because of diffusion. Though along with this bromine particles, bromine molecules, air molecules are also there in between, but as air is invisible, so we cannot see these particles of air separately in this manner. So the color of this gas jar will remain only its color of the, it will take up the color of bromine gas only. Okay, so this will be actually the picture of the gas jar filled with bromine gas after diffusion. Another this diffusion we have seen for uh, two gases, intermixing of two gas particles we have seen here. Diffusion can be seen in liquid also. In liquid diffusion is also possible, because the intermolecular force of attraction is less in liquid. But for solid we cannot see, practically there will be no diffusion for solids, because the force of attraction between the particles of solid is much more than that of the liquid and gases. So diffusion will be lowest, or practically there will be no diffusion for solids, but for liquid and gases we can see this. For liquid, if we this experiment we can do at our home also. It's very easy. Just take in a beaker or in a glass, take some water. Okay, let us draw the water particles, water molecules with these are the water particles, suppose water molecules. Now drop some red color ink here. So this is the, here this place we have dropped some red ink. Okay, like this, or the this beaker will looks like, just a second. So here we will be dropping the ink. Slowly this will spread in this manner. That means the particles of the ink get spread in all over in the water, and afterwards, after some time, we can see in between the particles of water, the red particles of ink will get adjusted. They will spread all over in the water, and as water has no color, so the color of the mixture or the ink particles, ink molecules, they will take up the color of this, and they will convert the color of the water into red, as water as such have no color. So all over, after some time, we will see the beaker having a red liquid. Okay, so it will take up the color of the ink. So this is the diffusion among two liquids, water and ink. There are few more examples, practical examples of diffusion are also there. If we spray any perfume at any corner of the room, we can smell the fragrance of the perfume from the another room or from any corner of the room. Because of diffusion only, this we can get this, as the molecules of the perfume will get intermixed with the particles or the molecules of air, so it will get diffused all over in the room, and we can smell the fragrance of the perfume from any corner of the room. So this is an example of diffusion. In the same manner, if we burn a incense stick, then also the smell of the incense sticks, the fragrance of the incense stick will get spread all over in the room. Incense stick, from that we will be getting the smoke. Along with the smoke, the fragrance will comes out, and the particles of the gases, particles of the incense sticks, and along with the fragrance, that will get mixed in the air particles because of diffusion, and we can smell it all over from any corner of the room. And not in the same room, we can get the perfume, we can get the fragrance from other rooms as well. LPG gases, LPG cylinder which we use at our home, if any leakage is there in that, we can easily find it out because of the smell, strong smell of the LPG gas. There is a because of this only, because of safety measure, we can say, compound is mixed with that LPG gas. This is called ethyl mercaptan. So this is having a strong smell which we get from LPG gas. LPG gas is not having as such its own smell and all, but because of the mixing of this substance, we will get the strong smell of from the LPG gas, and easily the if any leakage will be there, we can detect it easily. Okay, so all these are the examples of diffusion. And another thing, this is all for today's students. And one thing I forgot to tell you, that if you are not getting the sound properly, if the sound is low, use better you use headphone. Okay, with headphone you can get the sound clearly. So do that. Maybe every day I am not maybe I'm forgetting to say that, so you just remind that whenever you are not getting the sound properly, you use headphone. Okay, so this is all for today. Hope you understood this properly. If you are having any doubt, you as you are doing, you just send that query, and then I can repeat it again. Okay, I will be discussing that again. So as you are doing, keep on studying, do the worksheets and all, uh, go through the study material properly, and have a nice day. Thank you.